Here's my question too, though. If we're talking about societal conformity, right? We're talking about the traditional way that people have seen the world for the last 50 years or so, right? And now we're kind of switching to where everyone wants to flip the table and be like, we're not conforming to society. And it's like everyone is doing that at the same time. Is that not also conforming to society because it's changing? Everyone wants to be on the opposite spectrum of it?
Yeah, but that's only to the people who want to be on that. I mean, that what you said is like most of society. But yeah, that's to the people who want to follow that. Not everyone's doing it.
So let's say like in 10 years from now, everyone is going to be on if it's like a pendulum, right? For the last 50 years, we've been, this is quote unquote normal, right? And then in these last few years, it's been swinging this way where everyone was like, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not traditional, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go over here. Do we think that in the next 10 years that the pendulum is going to be over here and that it's going to be the complete opposite, and then you think it's going to swing back eventually?
Well, you have to wait for that middle part.
I believe it's never going to be.
I think we're already in the middle part.
It's never going to be one way or another. Yeah. It's never going to be, because that would, in order for it to get to be all the way over here, from all the way over here, everyone, and I mean every single human being alive, would have to be obviously at one point anyway.
Well, I mean,
to
but
get to the other one.
It's more on one side than the other at any given time. Is what I'm saying. And at one point, it was like more over here, and then so in the last few years, everyone's been switching. You know, whether it's sexual identity or what a woman is.
And history always repeats itself.
Or politics or whatever, right? All that's kind of been coming this way. And do you think it'll be over here one day, and then and then after 50 years of that, it'll come back this way?
I think so. You remember back in the day how you ever watch like those old talk shows and they get on TV and they can say whatever they want. They're smoking on TV, smoking on a plane. Women have their breast out. It's just a free for all. And then we start to get really strict. You can't say anything
like,
on TV.
I Love Lucy. They were married.
TV.
I Love Lucy. They were married but
radio.
slept in different beds. Yeah. That's for example.
And see, and then they said the S word on TV, and then it's like, oh wow, they're pushing it, and then they show breasts on TV. Mm-hmm. Now I just saw a Dove commercial where the lady's breastfeeding. Oh, I'm sorry, really? Chest feeding, because you can't say breastfeeding anymore. You can't make this up. Look up.
Serious?
What's Dwight's name from?
Dwight Howard?
No, Dwight
from New World. Wait, what is it?
No,
Dwight
from The Office.
Oh, Dwight.
What's his name? Rain?
What did he say? What happened with him?
He made a tweet about breastfeeding.
No, and he got in trouble for it?
They tried to cancel him. He's like the biggest leftist in the world.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So you have to say chest feeding now because apparently men can chest feed.
That's crazy.
So Dwight finally got in trouble.
Y'all think I just be making this stuff up?
Dwight finally got in trouble.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
This is the world we live in.
That's crazy.
Rainn Wilson has apologized for taking a mean crack about chest feeding after taking some time to educate himself. Well, what do you call it then?
It's called chest feeding.
Do we not have the word breast not exist anymore?
No, the thing is, if you say breastfeeding, then it insinuates that only women can do it.
Only women can't.
Y'all have breasts.
But what are
they gonna feed from us?
But what is a woman though? But then the question is, what is a woman? So you're saying that if a woman who identifies as a man is breastfeeding, no, because she considers herself to be chest.
So if a woman identifies as a man, then she can chest feed because she's not breastfeeding.
So wait a minute. Exactly. Before I came here, I went to the store. I went to go pick up some chicken breasts. Should I not call them chicken breasts?
It's chicken chest. You just ate a whole mouthful of it.
I'd be damned if I said that.
I'm about to go check my packaging right now just to see, like, after this. A chicken chest?
Chicken chest.
Bro, I swear to God, if I go to, I got it from Harris Teeter before I came here. If I go check my packaging when I get home and it says chicken chest, I'm throwing the whole shit away.
Harris Teeter wouldn't be the ones to do it. Who would be the
Publix.
first? Publix, yeah.
Target would.
Oh yeah, Target will just aim at anybody.
They'll just say theirs will just say chest.
Yeah, bird chest.
Wait, with an apostrophe on the E to make it look fancy. Chest day.
Chest day.
But yeah, that's insane. I didn't know that.
This is the world that we live in. It's almost at a point to what are you going to be like?
What can you say? What can't you say?
Existential, like it's so getting up out of like it's out.
You know what I've just thought about? Now, cancel me if you want to, but Gina Carano got canceled because she said that she was talking about the Holocaust, right? And she was like, at the point At some point the Holocaust happened, right? But before the Holocaust happened, there had to be like a sense of like language and like restrictions and stuff like that happened to where people had, like you said, a groupthink. That everyone's mind changed towards the Jewish people to where you can look at them and not even think twice about saying you should be in prison or in a camp or die or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, like things like this, at some point, are we going to be restricted to the point where like we walk out of the house and we're afraid that people are going to look at us and say that's the person that doesn't agree with the way we think or agree with the way that we speak, and they should be in trouble because this is hate speech?
We kind of do it now. I mean, if you see like an old white guy in overalls.
Cancellation is like once someone get canceled, you can say or do anything you want to that person, right? You don't even look at them no longer as like a human being because
pretty much
that's crazy to think about.
Pretty much.
So if like this stuff is actually enacted in laws and stuff, then it could be scary.
Could you imagine
Kids
not being able to say retard?
Yeah, I mean, if you can get in trouble for like the only way to backfire on you is if you're like in media. Like you can say it all you want. I think people would,
to a certain extent. You see,
yeah, FCC regulations don't really even exist anymore. Really, like if it's come
you don't
to
need
that
to.
point.
Yes.
Like honestly, after cartoons started doing what they did and shifting and Steven Universe and regular show and all, I'm like, man, FCC regulations don't even exist anymore.
It's Cairo from the Storytellers Podcast. If you like watching our video, you can see more on TikTok and Instagram. If you want to support the channel outside of YouTube, you can always use Patreon. Remember, like, share, subscribe. And if you feel like listening to us at work or in the car, remember, you can always use Spotify or Apple Podcasts.